Israel is operating with full force against the Hamas terrorist organization in the Gaza Strip. We have reached this situation after the Hamas repeatedly refused proposal to extend ceasefire and to release our hostages. Hamas rejected two concrete mediation proposals presented by the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Israel agreed to these mediation proposals. Hamas refused them. The IDF is striking Hamas terrorist targets across the Gaza Strip, aiming to achieve the war's objectives. From this point forward, Israel will act against Hamas with increasing military intensity.
Administration and the White House were consulted by the Israelis on their attacks in Gaza tonight. And as President Trump has made it clear, Hamas, the Houthis, Iran, all those who seek to terrorize not just Israel, but also the United States of America, will see a price to pay. All hell will break loose. And the White House were consulted by the Israelis on their attacks in Gaza tonight. And as President Trump has made it clear, Hamas, the Houthis, Iran, all those who seek to terrorize not just Israel, but also the United States of America, will see a price to pay. All hell will break loose.
Hamas, of course, has lost this war. They knew they could never win it, and they lost it pretty much as soon as they started it. But instead of handing over hostages and surrendering, they commit war crimes every day by hanging on to hostages, and they ensure that more Palestinians suffer for longer. It's a tactic of unimaginable cruelty, driven, of course, by visceral hatred and Islamist extremist zeal. Yet, sadly, too many in the West fail to call it out, preferring to do what the terrorists do and blame Israel.
To the fighting in Gaza due to Hamas's refusal to release the hostages and threats to harm IDF soldiers and Israeli communities. If Hamas does not release all of the hostages, the gates of hell will open in Gaza, and Hamas's murderers and rapists will meet the IDF with forces they have never known before. Joining me
now. Broke down, and also Steve Witkoff, the Middle East envoy, was trying to get the ceasefire extended, and that broke down. So this is a limited military operation to get back to some kind of negotiation to get the hostages out and get a ceasefire reestablished. General Zamir, who's the new head of the Israeli Defense Forces, he took over on March the 5th, is planning a much wider and extensive campaign to finally destroy Hamas in the event that these negotiations don't prove to be merit on both sides. So that's the path we're on right now, Maria, and we knew at some point we were going to come down to this. In other words, they took those hostages, admittedly 250 plus, but they knew at the very end of this they were holding on to some number of hostages for what reason? Their own survival. And that's really what is at stake as we come down to a much smaller number. Right now, 59 are left, 24 of those supposedly still alive. It remains to be seen what decision Hamas is going to make here.
By having a 120-kilometre fast